Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CC On Air. I am CC Pruitt. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another wonderful interview. This is PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. You will hear wonderful music, uplifting our Father, as well as interviews, also uplifting our Father. You can join us on social media platforms. Just type in PQLR1 Radio. That's PQLR, the number one, radio. If you want to email us, it's the same thing, pqlr1radio@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Let us know what you think about the station so far. We've been doing this for a little while now, and we hope that you all are enjoying us. So today is no different. We are talking to our brother here, and he is in Jamaica. Why don't you introduce yourself to our people, brother?
So, thank you, Cece. I am Dr. Silburn Clarke, aka Dr. Eli Yahudah, and I was the convener, aggregator, producer of the Yah album, where Yah is the acronym for Yahudans Awoke Hebraic, which was a project that we did in 2019 to celebrate and honor, and to celebrate and honor our journey from the motherland to the otherland.
Praise Yah. Now, I happened to stumble upon the album. I believe it was on YouTube, or it might have been Spotify. And I'm always surprised and just grateful for the music that comes from our people who truly choose to uplift Yah. Tell us how the word of Yah has changed your life. I know many of us have started out as Catholics or Christians, but now that we come into this thing called the truth, we discover a huge transformation in how we believe and what we believe. How has it changed your life?
So it has centered me. It has caused me to recognize and absorb and embrace that we're not here as physical beings, randomly moving from space and time, but we're actually products of the Most High, our Creator, our Almighty, who has a purpose, a divine purpose that He wants us to fulfill. And it gives you a certain level of comfort and confidence, knowing that. And there's a word that is central in my life, which is that no matter what the trial is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow, I will fear no ill. So it's a kind of super confidence that one could say, that to know that you are moving through with the will of the Most High.
Well, that's amazing that you say that, because in this walk, we will recognize, I believe we recognize the trials as something different. As Christians, we had faith for a car and a house and all of that. But now that we're called to something deeper, I just think that it's more, our thoughts are more situated on fulfilling what we need to in Yah, and just more developing our relationship with Him versus just all of this self-satisfaction that still goes on, unfortunately.
I agree.
In Christianity.
I agree 100%.
So in that, you are still desiring to shed off that flesh and just anything that you see about yourself that is displeasing to the Father. Whereas Christianity, I believe, allows you to uphold that and pretend that you're hanging on to Yah's unchanging hand, as if you can't fall into sin and backslide and just be something other than what He chose for you to be. We just are allowed to continue on and be sinful, and then go up to the front and be slapped on the head and fall out and shake around, and then get up and say, okay, I'm good again. Whereas that is not the purpose for our lives. Our lives are to just give it all up and just serve Him.
All right. So there's a passage from some people call him James, I refer to him as Yaakov, where he says that works are really what we ought to be measured by, not blind faith. other words, and I don't know the exact passage, but to summarize, he says, if two men appeared at the door of the church or the synagogue, one dressed raggedy and dirty, and one dressed in the finest robes and gold and silver,
Mhm.
which one would you take him and where would you place him? And he basically said that most people, most religions,
Mhm.
would take the man dressed in fine robes and put him in the front row.
Mhm.
Tell the
Mhm.
man who's looking raggedy, stay at the door or stay outside.
Yeah.
So our works
Mhm.
define us, not what we blindly say that we are following as faith. And
Mhm.
so there's a big difference between religion,
Mhm.
which I think is man-made,
Mhm.
which has caused a lot of grief to mankind,
Mhm.
and which is full of a lot of dogmas and doctrines and structures and hierarchies and deference to people. There's
Mhm.
a difference between that structure, that construct called religion, and
Mhm.
the construct of spirituality.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the more you follow religion, the more I think you move away from spirituality. And the
Mhm.
walk with Yah is one centered on spirituality.
Mhm. Well, we know that our people try to grasp onto African roots as well. And so they try to connect with spirituality and they end up with the wrong spirit because there's either the Holy Spirit or the Ruach or it's something else. And unfortunately, that something else has many faces, like a Halloween mask. Like they can look like anything else. They can look like your grandmother. They can look like your auntie. They can look like whoever you want to dream up.
Correct.
It's just that way. And so our people, because of a loss of identity, we tend to grasp onto that other spirit, some familiar spirits that are going to get us taken straight to hell, because Yah is jealous. His word says that. And so we have to remember that whenever we are seeking what is called spirituality, when we are seeking to kick out, quote, religion, we have to seek him first because he will give us everything that we need in order to truly serve him. And again, like I said before, it's not about serving ourselves, but unfortunately, um, that other spirit tells you that it's okay to be serving yourself, and do what you want, and we have to come away from that because although there are things or ways of our ancestors that were done, we have to remember that those things that were done are also the things that God has put in this captivity.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And so, as you rightly say, there are many spirituality doesn't mean embracing every spirit that is out
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
because you have hosts of spirits that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to be centered in discernment in order
Mm-hmm.
to filter out what are gonna be bad for you and
Mm-hmm.
what are the ways that you should follow, what are the spirits that you
Mm-hmm.
should adhere to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. And as we think about our people who've been scattered all over the world, in the four corners of the world, we can see some similarities in so many things. But I think that we can still see so many similarities in the sin that we still choose to be involved in, whether it be in Jamaica or any part of the Caribbean, or you have our people in Asia or whatever, because they don't know Yah. And I would say also because our parents and our forefathers that came before us, they knew Yah in a certain way. It just kind of leaves us stuck. And it's not necessarily that we have to stay in that way, but in order to truly get there, you just have to stay foundational. The Bible talks about coming back to your first love. You have to stay foundational in Yah, because as you are faithful in a little bit, he will give you much. But if you're seeking
Right.
the much by yourself and for yourself to again
Correct.
appease your flesh, you're going to end
Correct.
up anywhere. So we have
Correct.
to truly seek him. And we have to be thankful for even the place that we're in today, because you can look at people around you and you can look at even where you've come from. And you don't even have to be in this glorious place right now where you're giving Yah the praise. You could be in a ditch. You could be drinking a bottle of something. You could be on drugs, but he chose you for this moment to give him the praise. So I'm just thankful for that.
So am I. So am I.
Mm-hmm. So now let's talk about the group. Now, how did you decide to come up with this group to make this wonderful sound? Now, is your background in music? Are you a musician? How did you do this?
My background is not in music. As I said earlier, off air, which I can say on air, I am actually the head chairman and CEO of a tech company. So I'm a technocrat, so to speak. I'm a technical person. I'm a background in engineering, finance, IT, that sort of thing. But I like to think that I have been on a journey, and that journey is taking you through various levels of enlightenment and clarity. So happened in 2019, that journey led to a consciousness that said, let us put together a body of work that uniquely from our perspective share our praise and honor to Yah. And that's what the project was. It was a 2019 project to do just that. And with that mission set, we just set out to execute. And execute we did. And so by July 2019, after 6 months, it was all done.
Wow, 6 months. That's great timing. But I mean, that's how Yah does it. He does it in his timing, because something of that magnitude, I would think that you'd tell me, oh, it took 1.5 years. We had to get all these people together. But because it's a lot of people. How many people was that in the group?
It's a large ensemble.
Yeah.
But I don't have an actual count on it, but it was huge. And what it is that I sort of executive produced the project and then pulled people from all over, and people were very willing to come along to participate. And these are not all folks that are what you could call necessarily awoke or part of a group or a mission. But they were willing, having heard the song, the message, the mission, they were willing to partake. And so they are on their own individual journeys themselves.
Okay. So we can hope that even being involved in the project, that they will be Yahudans Awoke. Like they will definitely grasp onto something that is going to enlighten them into seeking the Father even deeper. Wow. That's great. I tell you. So do you have any desire to do another album soon?
So yes or no. I have a desire, yes, to do another project. About soon, I'm not so sure how soon.
Okay.
Because it starts with allowing to everything came from It starts with allowing to guide the direction and to send the lyrics and to send the music and to send everything. So I'm not sure if I am in that receiving mode right now, but as soon as it recurs, then yes, we will press on again.
Well, fast and pray, and it'll probably come, I tell you. You're right there where the sunshine is in Jamaica, so you already got, so many components working for you, whereas we're in the gloomy dark. So I would say fast and pray and just wait for Yah to work. But I'm telling you, that album is such a blessing. It's something to sit back and just be able to receive from the music that is provided to you, because it's like being at a table with a huge buffet and just everything there for you, provided the nourishment that you need versus, I know like rhythmically, sometimes I would listen to something on like an autoplay situation and the music might change from what they call genre to the next. And my spirit just feels completely different, or like it has to be on guard because of what might come through the airwaves or whatever.
Right.
But I enjoy this album because I don't have that. It just is a free flowing of Yah's information coming in and just blessing my spirit.
Right. Right. Well, I thank you for that, and I can't take the praise for it. Of course, it's all due to you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so the project was structured in a way where it started with Innocence and Bliss,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first track speaking to a time when there was no stress. So it's actually sung by kids. We call them angels.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took us through the journey from that innocence through the trauma of the transatlantic or trans-Ethiopic
Mm-hmm.
piracy, that word, and then into a celebration and reaffirming of ourselves right now. So it was a journey.
Mm, yeah. And I think it just is always a journey. We get very caught up in a Western mindset. And my husband and I, we kind of joke about this a lot, but it's true. Like we're Israelites, we're on a journey. We're not stable anywhere. Like we try to develop this White House and picket fence mentality. But even in our mind, even in our spirits, like there is no white picket fence or no house. Like we are not going to be stable and where we're supposed to be until Yah does that for us. That's just not where we are. And I think the stability is knowing that, when he calls you to move or causes you to change, you can just say, hey, I'm an Israelite. And that's what we do. We move at
Yeah.
Yah's direction, whenever that is, however that is. And we know that he will provide. We're not worried about tomorrow. The Bible tells us to let tomorrow worry for itself. So when we are truly rooted in his word and we understand that we can look back and we can see how many times he's taken care of us, we can breathe off of that.
Correct. Correct.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm thankful. So now you got this project that you've done concerning the music, which we're so blessed for, and we are going to definitely be playing the music. And then you're in tech. So how's it that you communicate with our people concerning tech? Do you help develop inventions, or why would one of our Israelite brothers and sisters decide to contact you concerning tech?
Well, so we are in a specialized area of tech. I myself am a land surveyor by initial training. So that's my first profession right out of high school.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
right, and so the tech that I'm in is a build up, layering of that. So
Mhm.
I'm currently in what is known as location intelligence or geographic information system, or some people call it geospatial engineering.
Okay.
Um, where you tie location to your data in
Hmm.
operations in
Hmm.
order to make better sense of your corporate decision making. And
Hmm.
so our clients are largely probably
Hmm.
90% governments, and probably 10% private sector. But the technology is where we started 25 years ago. At
Hmm.
that time, it was, a very off the wall type of era to go into. But now it is pervasive, ubiquitous.
Hmm.
And that pervasiveness is shown by things like Google Maps, um, and shown by um, vehicle tracking and so on.
Hmm.
But we continue to persist in the era where we can take corporate data,
Hmm.
tie location to it, and help you to analyze how your operations are executed. So whether you're a
Okay.
hospital or whether you are a health service provider in a clinic, whether you're somebody in disaster management,
Hmm.
um, or the emergency services, location and place is very critical to all you do. So that's the area that
Oh,
we're in.
okay. Okay. Because I was just going to ask you, well, who are your customers? But you just told me. All right. So, but why would one choose your company versus another company that deals with the geospatial arena? You said you've been in it for 25 years, but what would make you prominent in the area?
Right. Well, first was the first mover because when we started, nobody else was doing it. That's one. But we
Okay.
like to think that we put our customers first.
Hmm.
So rarely exchanging solutions for money. We're actually
Mm.
providing layers of trust. and confidence to our customers. And so
Mm-hmm.
over the years, we have come to be regarded as more advisors, folks, rather than say, and we help you to unpack and to get better solutions for challenges that you are facing.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good because that shows that you care about the customer and their project as a whole, not just some money grab. You're actually helping them execute the whole project. That's wonderful. Okay.
Right.
Well, if people here in the United States or anyone else listening would like to look up your information and connect with you, how would they do that?
So we have a website, www.spatialvision.com, spatialvision.com, one word. So that's our public face on the information superhighway, so to speak. That's our billboard.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So
And then what about the music? If they want to hear the music, I mentioned Spotify and I mentioned YouTube. What other platforms can they find the music on?
Oh, the music. For the music project, it is on several. It's certainly on Amazon. It's certainly on YouTube. It was initially registered on probably around a dozen or more sites, Tidal, and so on. So it's pretty out. It's pretty much out there.
Everywhere. Okay.
I could do a proper listing for you and probably email it to you.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, because what we want to do is link it underneath so everybody can have that. Now, is there a place to donate funds to the project or anything like that?
No, there's not. But that's an idea.
Right. Yeah, because our people, we've come out of tithe and offering, but we like to bless one another. So if we hear music that we like or something, sometimes we want to just send you a cash app. So it might be a good idea to attach a pay system.
That might be something we should explore. But we have a Facebook page as well. And we have, Gmail, we have contact information on
Instagram. Yeah, you're out there. Yes.
Yeah,
that's how I found you, because I was like, how do I find them? And I found you on social media. So I'm glad that we're able to use that for the glory of building Yah's kingdom. That's great. Well, we definitely invite you back to talk with us because we like to talk business. We like to talk music. We like to talk scripture and all things Yah. So we just appreciate you for coming and talking with us today. Do you have anything specific that you want to let the people know before we go?
On the project? I certainly am encouraged by your encouragement to think about a fast follow-up project. So we get inspiration in spurts. And sometimes we book these things, curate them in an area for reuse as resource. So we'll continue to do that in anticipation of providing more of the music that you like to use.
Well, another idea would be to get more children involved. A children's album, I think that would be a blessing. But I just really appreciate what you all put together. And being Yah inspired, I know it will always be great. But we want to leave off with our scripture and just thank you so much for coming, which is Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. I'm your sister Cece. This has been PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. Join us on social media, and we look forward to talking with you all soon. We thank you, and may Yah bless.
Yahudah set apart nation, showing your beneficence. All I require for life, Yah has given me, and I know who I am. Yahushua, my salvation, Counselor most magnificent. All I require for life, Yah has given me, and I know who I am. I know who Yah says I am, what He says I am, where He says I am. I know who I am. I know who Yah says I am, what He says I am, where He says I am. I know who I am. I'm walking in power, working miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. I'm walking in power, working miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called